Welcome to my new home if the Liberals pass Bill C8 and 9.
Being with us today. C9 makes reference specifically with hate symbols to public spaces. Just to confirm, does that include the internet?
Generally speaking, the law will apply equally online as it does in real communities.
So this bill will affect what people can say and write on the internet?
Good question, Andrew. Let's see what this moron is going to say. If I have a feeling it won't be a straight answer.
Just in the limited circumstances where there is the willful promotion of hatred against
It will apply
someone.
to the internet. The internet is within the jurisdiction of...
It would be possible that someone could commit a hate crime on the internet, certainly.
So, building off of Mr. Baber's points about the lower threshold for the definition of speech, there is, under this law, assuming Bill C9 passes, something that might not be legal to say today on the internet. Or it might be legal to say on the internet, could actually be illegal in the future under C9, could it not?
No, that's entirely inaccurate, and I say that with no judgment to your perspective, but let me explain.
Of course it will, Mr. Moron. You are trying to silence anyone who goes against the government.
The only circumstance where you could imagine some online comment attracting scrutiny under this law would attach to behavior that is criminal today but would be punished less severely. The symbols piece that you pointed to, for example, is attached only to the willful promotion of hate. This is not a blanket symbols ban. The willful promotion of hate is a crime today, but we want to recognize a distinct charge where that same behavior uses certain symbols of hate to bring a higher degree of culpability. So there is no new human behavior that would attract the scrutiny.
I understand, but I'm building off of the discussion earlier on the definition. Is your view that the change in wording, and there was a change in wording, you made a deliberate decision to change the definition that was spelled out in Keekstra and reaffirmed in Watcott. Is your view that your definition in C9 will not capture anything beyond what is currently captured right now by the hate definition?
The definition was an attempt to codify, and the reason that there was...
And said, this isn't about hate speech. This is about speech you hate. You liberals are pussies and can't handle criticism.
Question, Minister. Is there at all a lower threshold or a broader net on hate in Canada after C9 if it passes?
My view on the definition question, because the offences I would give a different answer to you for, but on the definition, my view is that it codifies the same behaviour that is there today, and it was meant to provide clearer guidance to law enforcement in the criminal code to apply the existing standard that has been recognised by the Supreme Court. Because
the same arguments that are being used by you and your government to push Bill C9 to protect people against hate, which on the surface sounds incredibly noble, but these arguments are the same arguments that have led to the United Kingdom having police literally knocking on people's doors over their tweets. So what guarantee can you give Canadians that we are not headed down that very road, especially in the context of other priority areas identified by you and your government, such as the Online Harms Act, which was introduced twice, actually, in the last two parliaments?
What is happening in the UK is exactly what they want. The RCMP will be knocking on your door because of a tweet.
This legislation is not identical in kind to the reforms that have been put in place in the UK, and we've actually looked at their experience and see that there are real challenges with how it's played out. For example, we've got a different approach where some jurisdictions around the world have adopted a more blanket glorification that could attract the scrutiny of a liking a Facebook post, for example, and we chose a different path.
A different path, my ass. You guys are using it like a football coach's playbook.
We instead tried to be very clear that we would not interfere with the charter rights of Canadians to freely express themselves, but at the same time make it easier to lay charges where hate crimes are committed today, to the extent
Hate crimes are committed every weekend on the streets, but you just let it happen because you don't want to be called a racist.
That you think there is a better way to clarify and codify the existing definition. Do know that I believe in Parliament, and I don't care which party comes forward with these amendments. If it creates multi-partisan buy-in to codify the test, that's okay by me.
Can you guarantee that if C9 passes, no Canadian will end up being charged because of something they've posted on Twitter or Facebook?
Well, if they commit the crime of willfully promoting hatred against another person.
A crime with a definition that you're changing.
So, but it's possible that they could be convicted for what they willfully promoting hate online today. So certainly I would hope if someone commits a crime in the real world or online that they would face the appropriate criminal penalty if in fact it's captured by the code.
We had in my riding a very disturbing case a few weeks ago where someone had mowed a swastika, a Hakenkreuz I should say, into their lawn and was charged under the existing criminal code definition. They displayed a symbol. It was found to be willfully promoting hate. Law enforcement and the Crown agreed that they could lay that charge. So why is your bill at all necessary when we already have existing powers, which, to Mr. Housefather's point earlier, are simply not being enforced as often as they could be?
Look, this is an important question. I'll answer it very quickly. When you have the willful promotion of hate, the person who's convicted of that could still be convicted, but also of a second charge, the willful promotion of hate using hate symbols, which would attract a greater degree of culpability and potentially a greater penalty, recognizing that the use of hate symbols, when you're willfully promoting hate, can cause greater damage to both the individual and the entirety of the community. So I don't find these points to be inconsistent with one another, but instead that behavior could potentially face an additional charge with a more serious penalty because of the manner in which a person chose to promote hate to cause more damage to an affected community.
There you go. Like a post, straight to jail. Tweet about the government, straight to jail. Share a meme, straight to jail. Hey, you should subscribe so I can make some money for bail. Bubba is getting this look in his eyes.